here in the Blue Jackets dressing room. Let's go. Let's get it. Oliver, can I get you for a second?
Sure.
Hey, this one tonight, disappointing to lose this game, but I mean, both teams had a lot of chances. Both teams had good goaltending too, didn't they?
Yeah, both goalies played really good. Obviously, it was a shootout game, so and no goals scored on them. So good goaltending, and obviously maybe some of the forwards couldn't really put the puck or didn't score in the right chances, I guess. Yeah.
What about you? What did you feel about your game tonight and playing this first preseason game? How did you play, in your opinion?
Felt okay out there conditioning-wise, but obviously it's the first preseason game at the NHL level, so a little shaky out there, and you make some mistakes, and you shouldn't be making. But I feel okay. It's the first game, so hopefully it'll get better from here.
You experimented with the 3-on-3 overtime format here tonight. I said during the game, it looks like you're the kind of guy that can excel in that. You were all over the place in that. What did you think of it?
It was fun. There's so much ice out there, but then again, you gotta make sure you don't make that one mistake that's gonna cost a breakaway or a 2-on-1, because guys are gonna score in those most likely. So it's fun, but again, you're kind of nervous out there because one mistake and it could be a breakaway or 2-on-1.
Yeah, and then Todd did pick you to go in the shootout. Were you surprised by that?
I don't know, surprised, but I guess the shootouts are not really that good friends with me, I guess. I always miss on them, I feel like, but I need to work on that, I guess.
All right. Well, I know that's what this is about, right? Working on the things you need to. So congratulations on a good game tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Oliver Bjorkstrand talking with us here in the Blue Jackets dressing room. Let's go over here. And Ryan Murray is talking. Must be. What'd you say? Oh, okay. Cam Atkinson is coming out, so let's change direction and go over toward Cam's stall and get ready for him to come out here. Another guy who had a good game and was playing in the 3-on-3 overtime and kind of lost his footing when it came to that. Here he is. We'll get him before anybody else can get him, because that's how I roll, right, Cam?
That's right.
Impressions here tonight, first preseason game. Did it feel like the first preseason game? There were a lot of points that looked like the first preseason game. Did it feel like it to you?
You got to expect that first game. It's going to be a little sloppy at times, or most of the time. Guys are trying to build a little chemistry with lines. Guys are trying to learn new systems and whatnot. But I think for the most part, it was a pretty decent game. We got a lot of good skill up front and some great skill in the back, and obviously our goalie played phenomenal.
Yeah, I almost thought that was 72 in goal, not 70 in goal, the way that he played tonight. So, I mean, and everybody's looking to have a big camp, and that includes your goaltender. So, you guys feel good for him tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, tough one at the end in the shootout, but he kept us in the game from the start. And if our goalies play like that, we're going to have an opportunity to win every single night.
You talked about the chemistry a little bit, and it looked like in the first period, I know that you and Scott and Alex have talked about, you've played together before, you've been around, but a couple of those passes were maybe going behind guys or just not on the mark. But again, it does take time to get completely comfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, you got to get acclimated with your line mates, especially when you haven't played together at all. But, I thought we did some good things, obviously did some poor things, but I thought we definitely got better as the game went on, more comfortable and making quick little plays and going hard to the net, and I think we're going to get better every day.
All right. I know you won't want me to ask this, but 3-on-3, you catch an edge and you start to stumble there.
I got a little excited, but I think 3-on-3 is great for the game. I wish it was even a little bit longer, but it definitely clears up a lot of space for some offensive skill, and it's definitely a lot better than 4-on-4.
All right. Thanks, Cam. Cam Atkinson joining us here in the dressing room as we'll take a look around here, and let's head down to the far corner, the far reaches of the dressing room here tonight. And Sonny, can I get you for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
Sonny Milano here with us. All right, you had that opportunity to get out there and play in Nationwide Arena tonight. How did you feel? What's this game feel like to you?
It was a lot of fun, obviously. It was my first preseason game. I didn't play last year, so it's just obviously a great experience being able to go out there and play in Nationwide Arena in front of all the Blue Jacket fans. And like I said, it was just a lot of fun. Coming
into this camp and the things that you wanted to work on in your game overall, did you feel you were able to put some of that into play tonight?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I was just trying to gain strength, work my defensive play, make harder plays. made a couple soft plays here and there, which I'm not too happy about. But I think defensively I played pretty good, and I think kind of kept up with the strength this year. So I think pretty good summer.
So obviously there's stuff that you did tonight you feel you can build on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I made a couple of turnovers and made a couple soft plays, trying to make like a saucer pass instead of just dumping it in or something, which that's something they really don't want out of me. So a little disappointed about that, but next game I'll be fine.
But again, this is, moving to the pro level. These are things that you've got to learn. I know you played a little bit in Springfield last year, so this is really amping it up another notch here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I played in Springfield, and that was a big jump, and now this is even a bigger jump. So it's a little tough, but I mean, I think I'll get used to it.
All right, Sonny, congratulations. Good game tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Sonny Milano talking to us here in the dressing room. Blue Jackets losing in a shootout to the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. 1-0 the final score in this first preseason game. They'll be able to have a chance to make up for it once again tomorrow when they'll be right back on the ice here at Nationwide Arena. In the meantime, we'll head down the hallway. Head coach Todd Richards will be coming out and addressing the media in just a bit, and we'll bring it to you right after this on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.
Hey, how much time we got on the break?
Blue Jackets losing a shootout tonight to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first preseason game of the year. 1-0 the final score in this game tonight. 1-0. Was it a goaltending battle? Yes, it was a goaltending battle. No question about that. Just talking with the players, you heard Cam Atkinson say that he put it right on Joonas Korpisalo to start with, talking about how well he played in this game tonight. And he did. He was outstanding. And I said this during the game, and I'll say it again now. You know what the goaltending tandem is going to be for this year for the Blue Jackets. You know it's Sergei Bobrovsky, and you know it's Curtis McElhinney. I mean, that's a done deal. But that doesn't mean that there won't be opportunities. And we saw that last year when Bobrovsky was out for those 5 weeks plus. Somebody had to come up and do the job. Anton Forsberg came up here. Anton played extremely well last year in the American Hockey League, and he didn't have the same kind of luck when he played here for the Blue Jackets. Now, there's going to be a battle between Anton Forsberg and Joonas Korpisalo. And believe me, that's what Korpisalo is really doing tonight. That's his personal battle. I mean, he's going to want to have playing time with the Lake Erie Monsters. And he wants to earn that playing time, and you can start doing that by this training camp. And what you want to do for a guy like that especially, who knows that he's not starting the year here barring some kind of an injury, he knows he's going to the minor leagues. You want to have in the mind of the organization, if something happens, when something happens, that's just the way it works. Everybody gets hurt at some point. But when something happens, you want them to say, you know what? Remember that game that he played against the Pittsburgh Penguins? I think this guy can come up and get the job done here. And if he's playing better at that time than Anton Forsberg is with the Lake Erie Monsters, well, then it makes that decision even easier. So that's the kind of battle that's going on with Korpisalo in a game like this tonight. He has to create the most positive image that he can of himself for the management and for the coaching staff. And he did that. It's one game. I get it. I understand that. But it's one pretty big game, the way he played tonight. 39 shots is what he stopped. And look at some of the shots that he stopped. And I will give this to you. He wasn't playing against Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Phil Kessel. But David Perron had some very good chances. Bo Bennett had some very good chances. It winds up being Bennett, an NHL player, that wins the game in the shootout. I get that. But I thought that Korpisalo really made a name for himself here tonight. And this is a guy that I remember distinctly when he was drafted, that Ian Clark, the goaltending coach, they liked Oscar Dansk. That's why they took Oscar Dansk in the second round, but they were thrilled that Korpisalo was sitting there with the pick that they had in the third round to be able to take him. They went back-to-back with goaltenders, and, you know, again, for one day, it looks like a really good pick because he played extremely well here tonight. And some of the other guys that I just talked to in the room, they played well. And, you know, I think if you're a guy like Sonny Milano or even Oliver Bjorkstrand, and for Bjorkstrand, he's got a little bit more experience here doing this in training camp, and Sonny didn't have that chance last year because he was hurt. But I think if you come in and you play your first NHL preseason game and you walk out of it and you say, oh, that was great. I didn't make a single mistake. That was easy. Where are you going from there, right? I mean, these guys, they made mistakes. You've got to get acclimated to the style of play here. And even though there were a lot of players playing for that Pittsburgh Penguins team that probably will wind up being Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins in the American Hockey League, you're still playing in the big building. You're playing with those veterans in your lineup. It still makes a big difference. So for these guys, they really did a good job to come in and get the experience they did tonight. And it is something that they'll go back, they'll watch the film tomorrow, and they'll make the adjustments. They've got to make the adjustments. They know that. Right now, head coach Todd Richards at the podium. Let's hear what he has to say.
Really sharp. Korpisalo looked great. Obviously, one of the main reasons why we were able to get it to overtime and then the shootout. Especially in the second period, he was very good.
Any first impressions on 3-on-3? Was it as chaotic as you may have predicted?
Well, I talked to you about the 4-on-3 power play, yeah. and that's I think you're going to see that. And I know it was a boarding penalty, and I don't think you're going to see boarding penalties 3-on-3. I think you're going to see more hooks, holds, trips, those types of things in overtime. But I think that's what you're going to get, the 4-on-3 power play. But there are lots of ice. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Setting up when you get the world's best and open ice. It's going to be a lot of one-on-ones. You're going to have your best players against the other team's best players. Somebody will make a play, I think.
Give us your thoughts on the Wenberg, Atkinson, Hartnell line. Wenberg really seemed to settle in and was skating the puck in with more confidence tonight than maybe he did last year.
I thought they were fine. Alex, I think, feels more comfortable this year. I think it's the same thing we talked about with, well, really with anybody. Once you get your first year underneath you, I think you come back more confident and you feel like you belong. And I think it's easier to go. He knows what to expect in the league. He knows what to expect building to building. He knows what to expect from players. He had success last year. He can be a really good player. I think he felt that, so that gives him some confidence. And he invested a lot this summer in himself. He's bigger, stronger, and I think because of that, it gives him some confidence too.
Todd, have you ever had as big a job, wide-ranging, assessing quality young players as you have this year in camp?
There's lots of guys that you're looking at. You're absolutely right. This is. You look down the bench and you're going into tomorrow's game and won't be able to watch the guys going to St. Louis, but we got lots of guys that we're taking serious looks at. It's a great problem to have, and this is going into my 5th year here. It's never been like that previous, so it's a good problem to have. We got great talented young players, and even the other players that we've brought in, they're players that will make you look at them for what they bring and what they can do.
Coach, any comments on the blue line play today, and any standouts from your perspective?
To me, the second period a little bit got away from us. I liked the way, first period for the most part, liked our defensive zone, and then turnovers again, especially in the second. And it wasn't just our defensemen. We had some forwards up front, turned some pucks over, and put our defensemen in some tough spots. Had some extended shifts in the second period, and that was problematic for us last year, and it's something that we have to talk about, something we have to get better at. It's how we manage the second period. Our third period, I liked. I thought our defensemen did a much better job, just getting the puck, moving it up the ice. I think they defended well. Gaps were good, but we've made some changes, and you can see that in practices when we systematic play. When you set it up, we execute it perfectly, but when you get into a game and you got to react right away, there are some guys that, again, the speed of the game, and we weren't always in the right position, and because of that, there's going to be some holes. But I thought our guys battled and competed. That's what you want to see. We'd like to have come out of there with a win, but I think it was at least a positive first step to our season as far as playing games. Thanks.
There is head coach Todd Richards talking about his team's preseason loss tonight to the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1-0 in a shootout is the final score. Blue Jackets will be right back out here on the ice tomorrow night, as you heard Todd say. They'll be playing 2 games tomorrow night, a split squad with the St. Louis Blues. One squad will go to St. Louis, and the other will stay right here to play the Blues at Nationwide Arena. So some guys might have the opportunity just to shake this off as quickly as tomorrow night. But again, 1-0 in a shootout is the final this evening. That'll do it for me. Milan Jordan will take you through the rest of the postgame show here on the Scioto Downs Columbus Blue Jackets Radio Network.